Hello, I've got a video here on a bulk users import tool for Active Directory, and it mainly came about because I was asked by a teacher. I'm in IT, I going to schools and businesses. And the teacher asked, he requested to have some pupils added, new year intake. This was a few months ago, and only a couple of them, two or three of them, I think, could actually log on. It was out of 70 odd users. So I said I'd have a look, and if I just minimize this here, this is my test lab server, but if you can imagine, it was a school one. I looked in the pupils OU. There was no changes, no new year group or anything like that. So when I looked into the users container, did a search, and the names were populated in here. I thought, well, that's a bit strange. Whoever added these users didn't really understand the structure of Active Directory, and probably did it manually, and then went away, did something else, and never came back to it. So I just emailed back to the teacher saying, "Yeah, give me the list of names that you've got, and I'll whack them on for you." The strange thing is I've not added bulk users for several years, um, mainly because I've never needed to. There's software now that are on the site, MIS software that will do most of it for you, or a lot of places will have their own method, which doesn't really change. It works. So I thought, well, I'll just find a GUI tool, save the aggro, just add the users in, click a few buttons, and away we go. So I did a search, and I really struggled to find something that was free. Basically, I just wanted something that was quick and easy, but not part of a large suite of programs where I only wanted a part of it. And a lot of the things were on free trial or a subscription or a one-off payment. I thought, okay, we'll have to resort to PowerShell. I know a little bit about PowerShell, not a lot. Did some codes, it didn't work. Got some errors, so I went on the internet, got the code off the internet. Again, didn't work. Errors. I can't remember what the errors were. They were different every time. Did lots of searches. There's loads. I mean, there's thousands of results for the PowerShell coding. Didn't work at all. And I thought perhaps it's the CSV file. There's some inconsistency in there. The headings are wrong. Faffed around with it. Didn't get anywhere. Getting a little bit frustrated by this point. So I went on AI and said, just knock up some PowerShell code to import, 70 odd users. That worked. That didn't work. Sorry. Yeah, that failed as well. Asked it to debug it. No good. Didn't do anything. So I went on to a different AI, pleaded with it to write some code, PowerShell code to import some bulk users, and it worked first time. Very strange. So I thought, well, I'll put that to bed. Thank God for that. It's over and done with. But it sort of played on my mind a bit. I thought it shouldn't have been that hard, really, to import these users. But the fact most of the GUI tools are the ones that we're looking for anyway, were a paid service. Perhaps it's not as easy as you think, really. Even though the PowerShell code is only a few lines, really. But I do tend to find with PowerShell, it doesn't take much for it to knock it out. And the server was fine. It was there was no problems with the server I was using. It was fine with PowerShell. So it played on my mind for a bit, and I thought, well, is there a way of coming up with a GUI tool that could help maybe mitigate some of the issues when trying to import bulk users? So and here we are. So I'll close it down. I'll just minimize that, and it's in PowerShell. And obviously when you first run it, you'll get probably the prompt to say, do you want to use it, yes, and A for all and N for no, that kind of thing. It's rough and ready. It does need some work, but the functionality is there. And I'll just scoot that over a bit more. You can see it's rough and ready. Needs a bit more polish. Um, but here we go. So I'm going to browse to a CSV file. And where are we? We shall try that one, full columns. We'll open that one, and then we'll load it. And here you have the preview window. And as you look along the column headings, there's no actual user principal name or SAM account name. That'll all get added on in just a moment. So we've got the file and the names. Next, we'll need to connect to Active Directory. And it will use the credentials that you connected to the server. This is running on server 2019. As long as you're logging on with admin credentials, you'll be straight on. I think you can do it from a workstation. I think I've connected from a workstation with admin credentials, so it should be okay. And then we need to look at connecting to the OU. So we'll browse the OU. For this test, we'll whack it into pupils and select that. So we've got our OU up here. That's all selected. And in the username format. So here we've got first dot last. You've got options down here. Should have worn my glasses. I just about see it. That's first name and the full first name and the initial of the last name, student ID. It was really meant as a school system, but I don't see why it wouldn't work for businesses as well. Now the passwords, you can either have it as it's selected there, change me 123 exclamation mark, student ID if available, or random characters. We'll select the random. And then the next section we need to look at is the security groups. So we can select the groups. It's a big long list here. We can do a search. As they're pupils this time, we'll add them to pupils. Let's see if it's in there. Jolly good. There we are. Pupils, and we'll OK that. Now you do have the option of forcing a password at the first logon, but as it's random, probably no need to do that. This one is just a placeholder. So I know some places have a home directory. I find it quite rare. Most of it's folder redirection. So I've left that sort of, it doesn't work, but it's there as a placeholder should someone else want to take it up and modify it further. And a test mode. So you can simulate, get everything like this ready. And when you go to actually import, it won't really import it. It'll just do a simulation just to check that everything's working okay. So now we've got everything ready. We've got our CSV file. We've got the OU. We're happy with the username format. Random 8 characters for the password. We've got the groups ready. Then we come down here for the actions, and we've got Analyze CSV. This bit here probably could be shortened, some of the steps, but we'll go through with it. And as you see here, it's got the column names that are listed. These two are okay. It means all the cells are filled with data. This here means some of the cells are empty. That's all it means. It just has empty cells. It doesn't break anything. Required fields. So the only thing you actually need to require users into Active Directory is the first name and last name. As long as they're green, doesn't really matter about any others. So it seems happy with that one. And then once we've done that, we need this was grayed out, but now since we click the analyze, we get the prepare data. We will just have a look at that. And that's great. So it's done the processing. Some internal columns have been hidden. Would you like to customize which are visible? We'll have a look at that. So it's just these two that are hidden at the moment. We can leave things as they are, or you can untick stuff if you want to. That's fine. We'll leave that alone as it is. And if I scoot across here, you can see At the end here, we've got our added columns, which is username and display name, email addresses. So that's all good to go. It says ready for import. So let's give it a go and see if that import works. Before I do that, we will tick, because we've got random passwords, would be nice to know what they are. So we'll tick that. You can, of course, use the export CSV button, which will show everything anyway, but we'll do that. We'll go ahead and see what happens. Yeah, we're ready to continue. The password's been exported already. Okay, so I've left the test mode on. That's fair enough. Tick that off. There we go. Let's try again, get it in properly. Obviously you get a warning. Test mode is off. Okay. Looking good because it's all green. I think this is, it'll go red if it's not happy. So we created that. So now we will have a look. We'll minimize that one there. PowerShell backend. You have to bear with me because I'm remoting on at the moment. Right, and then we shall have a look at our pupils OU and see if they're in there. Refresh that. And there we have. There we have our users. Look on Bob Holness, if you remember Blockbusters, if you're old enough. We'll go to properties and see if the fields are populated. So here we go. We've got the office, we've got the phone number. Let's have a look at the accounts. First name dot surname or last name. We did not tick change next login because it's got random passwords. So that's all pretty good, all on there. Yeah, that's all fine. That's it, member of, there we go. And it's remember the security group as well. So super duper. That's all looking good. Right, I don't have Office installed on the server, so let me just minimize. Where are we? Oh, there we go. So these are the passwords. And there we are. So we've got our username, user accounts, and then the actual passwords. Well, now, obviously, it depends on your setup, the complexity setup. If they're long enough, meet the requirements, but that's all worked fine. Super. Right, so let's go back to our tool, and we'll just reset everything. Back on there. Yeah, sorry about a little faffy around there. So we'll just clear and reset that. So I'll try to make this fairly robust in problems with the CSV, even though I don't think I had a problem with the CSV. It can be an issue. You get some columns that aren't right and things like that. So if we do wrong headers, for example, we'll load that in. Okay, and as you'll see here, um, I've just got column 1, 2, 3, and 4 on there. So that shouldn't work at all. What I will do quickly is obviously clear the users in AD. Ours will just, it won't work. So let me just get rid of these chaps in here. That one, clear that one. Super duper. And we'll probably put the new lots in sales. Should we go for sales? I think we'll do that. Well, there. Right, so we will see how this works. We'll need to change the OU just to mix things up a bit. So we'll go into the business, I should say, and we'll go sales. We'll pop that in there like that. And this time we will select, we'll just leave it at that. And then we'll add the tick, force the password change at first, log on. We'll see how that goes. We can untick that because you know what the password is. So if I do that one, so one of the columns is empty, completely empty, doesn't like that. Required fields are no good. It's all red. Can't create the accounts when it's like that. We'll prepare the data anyway. So we'll do yes. So here we have got columns 1 and 2. Do you want to map them? I certainly would. Thank you very much. We'll do that. It's okay. We won't worry about the columns, seeing what can be done. And it's whacked them in there like that, which is super. Security groups. Yeah, let's change that for a moment. So let's go to staff on there. Staff global. Okay. We'll pair the data again just in case. Okay, super. So I'm not sure if it would have, it might have been fine without it, but best to be safe than sorry. So we'll do that. We'll try import users again now. We'll do that one. Yes. It's gone through. Let's have a look. Let's see what we've got. Just minimize that one there and refresh sales. We've got our users. So let's just have a look at Jane Doe. I've got the details in there. Look at account, and there we go. We've got our user must change password at next log on. So that's gone through fine. I don't think we made, oh, we did staff. There we go. So that works good. That's all fine. It will work if I just delete these without any headers. I won't go through the whole process, but I'll just load the files. There we go. Back on there. Yeah, should have shrunk the resolution really, shouldn't I? Never mind. We'll clear that one. Yeah, so if I browse to the files here and let's have a look here, no headers. I'll load that. So what happened in this case, which I've done a few times, John Smith in the first row will be sacrificed. So you'll have first name here, last name there. Yeah, and you lose John Smith. The rest will go through. It does, I'm trying to think what else. It won't work with, I think I've got it here. If the first name and last name are in the wrong place, I don't think it likes that then completely. If I do that one, I load that. Yeah. So if we go ahead here, I don't think this will actually work. So we'll do that one here. Required fields. Yeah, it recognizes it's got the columns there, but it won't map them. Failed. There we go. So it's not completely idiot proof, but it probably could be. You probably could do it in such a way that it will sort things out. But I've got as far as I can with it. Really, it does the job for me. I've used it a few times, not on a massive scale, but yeah, it's been pretty decent for me. So hopefully it'll be on GitHub for free. Just use it. It would be nice for someone to sort of like progress it further. And if it helps anyone, brilliant, even better. Thank you very much.